Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the D&T Wrestling Show. We've been away. We've come back. We've answered all of your prayers. I am your host, Daniel, the D in the D&T, joined by my co-host with the most, the man with the plan, the T in the D&T, Mr. TNT, Tyler. Tell him how we're feeling for episode 13.
We are feeling amazing. Yes, we are back. We took a little hiatus.
Yes, sir.
Had some personal stuff happen in our lives, and we're back and ready to do this thing and ready to talk about some wrestling, what's happened so far. Ready to kind of talk to you guys about some stuff that happened at Money in the Bank. Do a little bit of brief not introductions, but a brief recap of what happened there. You know, a couple episodes after the fact, and then we'll actually talk about what happened this past Monday Night Raw. That happened on June 16th. Yes, June 16th.
Yep.
And then towards the later part of the episode, we're going to give you guys kind of our recap of what's happened during 2025 WWE stuff so far. So we'll give you kind of our reactions, you know, where we think the titles are, like on a scale of 1 to 10 and those type of things, right? So, yeah, looking forward to the show. And, you know, if we want to, you can roll right into it.
Yeah. I'll just say real quick, like Tyler said, we are very happy to be back. We would never leave y'all. We would never be gone for good. But like Tyler said, some personal things got in the way of us recording. But that doesn't mean we stopped watching wrestling. If there's one thing we kept true, if there's one thing we never stopped doing, it was watching weekly wrestling. We're here to talk about it. We have been dying to give y'all our opinions. We've at least been chatting it to each other in Discord and text and even when we watch it together. So without further ado, like Tyler said, we will cover really quick, given now that it's a few weeks away, what happened in Money in the Bank, because we did give predictions for that in our last episode. You know, see what we did, see what we got right, see what we got wrong. Spoiler, we got a lot right. Who's shocked by that? Not us. You know, with that being said, let's do the first match. This was the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Winner, Seth freaking Rollins. Tyler, you did predict Seth Rollins. I predicted LA Knight. Of course, it was the big thing that they made seem like it would happen was that it would be LA Knight kind of like getting it. And then, you know, he kind of gets interfered with.
3 years in a row.
3 years in a row. They make it seem like that man's going to win. I literally, if y'all go back and watch the episode, that is why I made the prediction that it would be LA Knight, like a third time's the charm kind of thing. Just kidding. They literally memed on me specifically 3 times in a row, and Tyler was right.
They're just
Tyler
like, let's look at all the videos. This guy. They're
like,
let's screw him over.
The D&T Wrestling Show. Screw these guys. Yeah, that's exactly what Triple H did. That bald bastard. And now Seth Rollins and his new faction. Still doesn't have a name, by the way. Seth Rollins and his faction now own the Money in the Bank briefcase. Now, funnily enough, I was on that same page with you, if you remember, where I was like, hey, it would be awesome if Paul Heyman now gets to walk around with the briefcase and talk about it. They'll be more threatening, blah, blah, blah. But unfortunately, I did not stick with my convictions. You, however, did, as a massive Seth Rollins fan. So, Tyler, tell me how you feel about your boy Seth Rollins winning Money in the Bank, as well as how you felt about the match.
I love it. I love Seth Rollins winning because I think it's just a perfect fit. Like I said in the previous episode, it now gives him, he is the most powerful man in the WWE. He is the future. He is the industry, as he likes to say. Like, yeah, that's what they are. Paul Heyman basically said, "This isn't a prediction. This is a spoiler, or whatever it is." Right. So yeah, I love the fit. I think Seth Rollins is going to do a fantastic job. He's going to be a very menacing presence with his 2 goons by his side, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I love it. I really do. I think and the match was good itself too. Funnily enough, like, this is the first year in a long while that the men's match, in my opinion, was better. Was a little better.
I kind of agree with you, actually. It's funny you say that. I don't even know if I was going to mention that myself, and now that you're saying it, I'm like, I actually agree. I do agree with that. For once, they were able to put that together.
And I don't know if it was because the women's match, and we'll get into it. We're not going to spend too much time on all of these matches, right? But the only problem, I think, with the women's match is that, you know, it had a lot of newcomers, Roxanne Perez, Julia, and Stephanie Vaquer. Yeah. So I'm thinking their chemistry was just not the best. And even Naomi, really. Naomi only got back in the WWE like a year ago.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like,
I think with the women, I'll just say it just because we're on that subject. Like, I think the women tried to go for a lot more ambitious spots that kind of felt awkwardly put together, felt like it was messing up the pacing. For instance, I'll just call it out because now it just popped in my head. Like, do you remember early on they were doing this kind of angle of like, oh, especially the smaller women are really working against Rhea and they're trying to like keep her pinned down. The spots they were doing to kind of illustrate that felt disjointed and weird, and Rhea sitting there just trying to take moves and trying to sell, but they're kind of doing it poorly.
That's one problem I hate.
Yeah.
With Rhea in specific is she is this. She's not a giant, but they make her seem like she's just invincible.
She's just so much bigger than most women.
Just let her do. I understand that, but just let her do normal wrestling stuff. Like let normal things happen. Like Rhea gets tossed around a lot. Like she sells the DDT like great because she makes sure that it's not even just the regular DDT. It's like the one where you grab and then you twist and then like you turn or whatever.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
But she sells it perfectly because she actually like flips and like I don't know. But
she does she goes all out. Like this. She goes all out when she sells.
Just don't make her seem like this big powerhouse. She is a big powerhouse. But you don't need to do that. You just, in my opinion, you don't. But we're not gonna dive too much into it because we do want to get to, everything that's happened since. So
the last thing I just want to say, I think the real MVP of this match, because it might go unsaid or it might go unnoticed, or I would actually argue no, it has not gone unnoticed. The MVP of that match was Solo Sikoa. Solo made a lot of spots funny. He brought story into it, which I guess I'll touch on this real quick. This is where the big Jacob Fatu, turn happened. We're not touching on the SmackDown. We did miss this, unfortunately, for the show purposes.
Face turn, but he was already a face.
He was already a face. He was already getting cheered, but they had to do it story-wise. And we saw on the SmackDown the day before that Solo and JC Mateo were talking hella shit about Jacob behind his back, and then they do the classic WWE thing where Jacob was behind the door the entire time and he heard him. So in this match, that's where he's like, enough is enough. He goes up to Solo, who had... So Jacob and JC come in to help Solo initially, but when it's obvious that Solo is the one and only person that has a chance to win, he's like, yo, Jacob, cover me, cover me. Jacob's sitting there, crowd's going, Jacob, Jacob, Jacob. He turns all dramatically, grabs Solo by the ass, and Solo's like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? He's like, hey, you, Solo! And he throws him down. It was perfect. I loved it. That was like the big part of the match that I loved the most. Just that story coming to a head, whatever you want to say, right? And we'll see kind of what's in store for us with those two. I actually believe, what are we at, Wednesday today? I would say this Friday we get a lot of that between Jacob and Solo, promos, whatever they want to do. So yeah, I would say that was the fun little part there. But other than that, yeah, we can move on to the next match. Would you like to do the honors for the next important match there on the card?
Yeah, the next match, we kind of already spoke on it a little bit. The next match is going to be the Money in the Bank match for the women, right? So with Naomi winning the actual title. I selected Rhea because I really thought that they were going to just kind of do Mommy in the Bank and roll with that. But Daniel, my friend, you actually got it right on your end. So how are you feeling about actually getting this thing right?
Well...
How did you think about the match?
I felt fucking great. I won't lie to you. I think out of all the things to predict, other than Royal Rumble, which I will also hang my hat on the fact that I guessed Jey to win the Royal Rumble. Unfortunately, we did not have a show at the time, but yes, I did predict Jey to win that, and I felt very strongly about this as well. Naomi, go back and watch our last episode. We're not lying about it. And just to be clear, to be fair, Tyler did not pick Naomi, but had Naomi as second. So it wasn't like we were completely worlds apart on this. But it made the most sense.
I really only chose Rhea based off of the Mommy in the Bank thing. I was like, they're just gonna roll with it.
Yeah,
they really are. And then again, also like having Rhea on both shows, being able. But now it seems like they really don't even care about the brand split. They're just gonna do it regardless.
Triple H plays WWE by week, bro. Like he does not care about anything. But
he really
besides that, like it really felt amazing when you every Money in the Bank is different, but you see that moment where no one's in the ring, doesn't look like anyone's getting ready to run in, the ladder's set up, and they start climbing, and you're like, I think this is it. Like, I think this is it. Naomi just starts juggling with it, and you're like, yeah, Naomi's gonna win. Like, this is sick. I think they're gonna run exactly what I predicted. It's gonna be Naomi takes it from Tiffany over the next. It has to be. Now this is where
I predicted the same thing. I think it's going to be Naomi taking over Tiffy, and then not Tiffy, Naomi,
Naomi
and Jade
versus Jade
are gonna.
I was more gonna say. Oh no, I was gonna say that. I'm more like, will they do it by end of summer, or will they let this go on for a few months? That would probably be the next point where a prediction matters. Like, well, how long will they take for that to work? I'll just say this real quick. Any of y'all out there, because I've seen y'all on the internet or in the different chat rooms and the different subreddits and threads or whatever, if y'all are out here saying that Naomi should get a messed up cash in, suck it. Okay, DX, suck it. Like, that's so ridiculous. Like, what a waste that would be. Like, do not, Triple H, please, if you actually do watch this show, if you're one of our few dozen viewers we have right now, do not mess up either of these cash-ins. That would be ridiculous. It was ridiculous when it messed up on Drew last year. It was pointless. You just should have never had Drew win. That's besides everything we're saying. But my point is, I love it. That's about all I have to say. Other than just like, yes, we already said this match wasn't as good as the men's for once. That doesn't mean this match was bad. I still like this match a lot. I loved having all these women in there. Some of these women are going to be the literal face of the company over the next couple years. And they were all in this one match. So, yeah, other than that, was there something you were just going to add real quick?
I think because the WWE shown and has proven the past couple of years, at least with Triple H in charge, they like to only have one Money in the Bank run, is what I like to say. Like, long-term run.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
With EO 2 years ago, they only gave her a month of time, and then she cashed in on Bianca. Mm-hmm. And then they had last year with Drew, literally an immediate cash in, and gave Tiffy her run, and gave Damian Priest 2 years ago his long run.
Yeah.
So I think this year it's going to be Seth with his long run, imposing on John Cena, also imposing on Gunther, back and forth, doing all that, right? So I think Naomi probably is going to cash in SummerSlam
soon,
which is in a couple weeks.
I guess you're right. Jesus Christ.
Like
what is it, in August?
Like 6 weeks from now. So I think she's going to cash in SummerSlam. I think it's going to be like, maybe not a Nia versus Jade rematch, but Nia versus Tiffy rematch, but it might be like a Jade versus Tiffy or something like that at SummerSlam. And obviously Naomi will come in and cash in, and then that'll probably set up. Oh, Naomi cost me my title chance, with Jade saying, and then that's how they kind of feud, right? Leading into WrestleMania, I think that's going to be the feud going forward. So yeah, that's my opinion on everything. This actually makes a lot more sense now that I'm thinking about it. Naomi will cash in on the all-women's pay-per-view Evolution.
Oh, Evolution, you're so right. I also forgot that was coming up. That should be a banger, too. That should be a really good pay-per-view. If they care enough to make it a thing, if that makes sense, I really think they'll give us a lot of high quality.
And that's only in literally a month.
That's true. That's so true. Because then we could get Naomi's first title big defense at SummerSlam. That could be the Jade match right there. That could be the first one. I think I could actually even see it being a series of Jade trying to get that belt, and then she finally gets it. Because there's no way you have Naomi be like a short-term champion. I think that'd be a little ridiculous, but that's down the line. But yeah, I don't have much else to add on this. We can move to the next match that we have on our card. I'll actually go ahead and audible this real quick. So we don't have it here because it was literally inserted the day of. There was an extra match out of the card. We actually said on our last episode, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, they're only going to go into this with 4 matches. Like, what the heck? And, of course, what they did at the AAA, for anyone, that didn't get a chance to watch it, you absolutely should. During the AAA pay-per-view they did earlier on Saturday, Dominic Mysterio challenged, what's his name? Not Pentagon, but Octagon, right? Octagon, yes. He challenges Octagon, who had his own match and had won his match, Dom is there with Liv in the crowd, and he's like talking smack, and he's like, "Hey, you, me, Money in the Bank later today, my belt." Boom, that was it. Both pay-per-views took place like down the street from each other, just for anyone that wasn't aware. So this match was like, it was okay, man. Dom won. Me and Tyler both like on the side predicted that Dom would win, so it was kind of a wash in that sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're both technically 2 for 3 thus far in these matches. To be honest with y'all, it's not that this was a bad match, but Dominic Mysterio's strength right now is not as a wrestler, okay? So Dom is just there to be a character. The wrestling will come.
Well, if they
That's
did
what we
something
hope.
with his like feuds, it would be like he hasn't had a feud. He just has not had
Yeah.
a real feud
He
yet.
kind of just has a
And
feud with
I'm
the
hoping
world.
something's building. I'm hoping something's building with obviously AJ Styles. We'll get to it, but I'm hoping something's building with that because I would like that AJ versus like old school versus new school, that type of thing, right? So, but I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
Go
no, you
ahead.
didn't.
Sorry.
I was literally just gonna say. I was saying like I said it. I think as you were talking, I was like, Dom's feud is just with planet Earth. Like the idea is just that everybody hates Dom, he hates you. That's it. Like there is a. But I would say it, and you actually are touching on a good point. I would say it's almost the same exact problem LA Knight has, where he also doesn't really have like some big thing you remember. Oh, when they had that feud, that was crazy. Like no, not really. They're just kind of there. They just are who they are, and they probably do need that. Maybe it's against each other. Could be, you know what I mean? Maybe that would actually help a lot. LA Knight and Dom talking shit to each other back and forth would be kind of awesome, but what do I know?
Yeah, it'd be
But
nice.
yeah, just wanted to touch on that real quick. I'll just go ahead and slide right into what we actually had here on the sheet. So that would be the
Yep.
women's Intercontinental Title match between the champion Lyra Valkyria defending against Becky Lynch. And as me and Tyler both predicted, Becky Lynch won the belt and took it from Lyra. So this was a solid match. I liked it a lot. I wasn't like the greatest match I've ever seen, but I would just more say it's a good cap on the head of this rivalry that we saw. These three, it was 3 matches, wasn't it? 2 or 3, I can't remember. Either way, but at the very least, even if it's 2 or whether it's 3, all the matches were awesome, and the bigger thing is that
Yeah.
their mic
This
shit
is the
talking
second.
was
This is the
amazing.
second
The
match
second
because
one, okay. That's
they were together. They were
that's what it
together
was.
at
They did a
WrestleMania.
match together. That's what it was. You're right. So it was kind of like it was obvious to us, and it should have been obvious to everyone that Becky was going to win it. Some people thought Lyra would get it, but nah. I think it's time for Becky to have it. I guess would you like to kind of roll into the fact that your prediction almost was perfect? Do you know what I'm getting at here? Like you almost perfectly predicted
Yes.
this. So you take it away
Yeah.
on what I
So
mean.
because obviously we're kind of recapping everything that's happened so far. Yes, Becky did end up winning the Intercontinental Championship at Money in the Bank. And then the following Monday happened. Becky Lynch comes out and starts talking, and guess who interrupts? The role model. Bailey comes in and actually
Just as
interrupts
Tyler predicted.
while Lyra is talking. Lyra's talking with Becky. Like Lyra's out in the
The ring.
the runway or whatever. Becky's in the ring, and they're talking, and then Bailey comes in behind and attacks. Now
Yeah.
I'm very surprised that Bailey's technically choosing a side here because I was going to think that it would be more of a
Like a
one and one feud,
like a triangle.
like a triple feud. Because Bailey would have been like, okay, I hate Becky because she took me out, but Lyra, you didn't like reach out to me or contact me or anything like that. So
Yeah.
I don't like either of you now, right? So
That's
I don't know,
true.
but
They did
I
stay
think
away
it's
from
still
that,
fine.
didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, I think because I think they really literally just turned Bailey face like last year,
That's
like
true.
after
That's
Bailey's been a
true.
heel for however many years. So I guess that would have been like if you wouldn't have turned her heel, right? So I don't know how it would have worked, but it's fine.
And I think it
It's no
actually
big deal.
works.
It still worked out the same way. Yeah.
Yeah. But we can kind of touch more on that, I think, when we swing into the full kind of recap of what else like we said, the aftermath. But I just wanted to put that out there that Tyler literally said Bailey's going to return and be a part of this. It literally happened like almost how you had said it. They just happened to do the match first and then the Bailey kind of like run in. And now we just straight up have Bailey and Becky. Lyra is not a part of this. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Lyra does interfere at some point, but that's besides the point for now. but cool. Again,
Yeah.
because it's a one-on-one match and not some big Money in the Bank thing, there's not a lot else to really touch on here. I just want to say the Lyra Becky feud
Yep.
over the last month and a half or so has low-key been, if not the best feud. It's like one of the top 3 feuds in wrestling, period. Amazing work from both of them.
Yeah.
And Triple H, again, if any of y'all are listening, keep that shit up, okay? Keep that shit up. Personal attacks, things that feel real, like real attacks and real emotions, that's what we want to see, okay? That's what makes good wrestling rivalries. But that's all I wanted to add. Unless you got anything else, you can take us into the main event match of Money in the Bank.
Yep, I'll take you into the main event of Money in the Bank. The main event was Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul and John Cena. And lo and behold, we did both predict Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes winning, but we did not predict what happened and how they won.
No, we didn't.
Because we were on the train of, we want the truth.
We want truth.
We want the truth. We want them, right? And WWE gave us the truth. Our truth came back after, and I guarantee you, and I still stick to this to this day, and I'll stick to it forever. WWE let our truth go. They were like, "Oh my goodness, we made a massive mistake because everybody hates us now."
Yep.
And we're like, "Our truth, please come back. Please come back to us." Basically the same thing they did with the We Want Cody movement a couple years ago with The Rock, right? Yep. So I am a firm believer of that. But our truth did come back, did attack John Cena. Cody Rhodes ends up pinning John Cena for the win.
Yeah.
And we get a little bit of foreshadowing, maybe. Maybe Cody pins John Cena again. Who knows?
And I suppose
we have the King of the Ring tournament going on right now too, so we'll see.
Yeah. And what you basically just described it perfectly, but it's like, look, what can we say, y'all? That was easily one of the most surprising things I think I've ever seen as a wrestling fan. Truly, me and Tyler didn't watch it together. Tyler was doing. I think you were unable to watch it, like
baby shower.
That's what it was. So I was here watching it with our mutual friend Justin from our childhood, and man, I was losing my damn mind. I was like, who is that? Because I'm sitting there not even thinking, well, that's our truth. I'm thinking it's like someone that they're trying to bring into this feud. I almost low-key thought it was Jake Paul. I low-key for like a half second was like, this is going to be Jake Paul messing with Logan. And then before he reveals who he is, his sweatshirt kind of like rolls up his back, and it's a black dude. And I was like, it's a black guy. And I was like, wait. And I'm sitting there yelling, wait. And then he takes off the shiesty mask, and it's our truth. And I was like, it's our truth. Like, I was losing my mind, y'all. I wish to God we were recording that. I wish to God, that would have been the easiest clippable moment of my entire internet career.
It would have been great.
That would have been. It was like such a perfect reaction, and it was amazing. It was amazing. Good, thank you, WWE. Good job. It fell into your lap because, like you just said, they obviously did not mean to fire him and then bring him back. Let's be real.
Yeah.
If for anyone that's like really really tapped in, like R-Truth's son basically like low-key came out and was like. Like Triple H and them tried to be like, hey, it's all show business, and his son was like, cap, like, nah, you were not gonna give us money. There was no plan here. But Nick Khan, from my understanding, is the one that came in and was like, we have a golden opportunity here to like do something crazy. Let's do it. Let's just give him the money. We have all this money.
What was it? Ron Cena. His Ron Cena shirt was like the top of the charts. Everybody wanted it. Yeah. Everybody wanted his Ron Cena shirt. So it's just like he was selling the most merch out of everybody. It would literally be like kicking John Cena to the curb or LA Knight to the curb when they were on top selling the most merch. It would be that same thing. Even though R-Truth is not like the biggest character in the world, you're going to keep your merch sellers. Oh, you're going to sell all this merch.
You really should.
Over to AEW? You're going to go over to AEW and then make all their merch sales go up? Like, what are you going to do about that, dude? So, yeah, it's WWE realized they made a mistake. They know they made a mistake, and they see that they made a mistake, and they're actually listening to us. And I'm glad, because fist you, WWE. So we'll go from there.
So, look, point is, it worked out.
Especially your freaking stupid corporate world now, freaking WWE corporate, whatever. I won't get into that. I already know.
No,
You already know how I feel
we
about
can.
the
You know
stupid
what? That would be
advertisements.
no. That'd be a perfect thing to put on the third part of this episode when we kind of give our overall
We'll talk about
feelings.
that. Yeah, for sure.
But look, that's our quick coverage of Money in the Bank. We just wanted to get that out to y'all because of the fact that we gave y'all predictions. That is what we did in the last episode. So look, with that being said, we will be back in a moment for the second part of the episode, which is us discussing the Monday Night Raw. And I guess we're tying it in. The aftermath of Money in the Bank and the Monday Night Raw that just happened. We're going to give that to y'all next.
Okay. What is up, DNT Nation? It is Daniel, the D in the DNT, here with a quick message. I just wanted to say thank you for all the love and support y'all have been showing the YouTube channel, the YouTube videos. It's been amazing so far. Look, if you made it this far in this video, hit like, hit subscribe, drop a comment down below, whatever y'all have been thinking so far. And as I say in every other YouTube video, hit that little notification bell to get our latest updates on our newest videos. We want y'all there. We want to know what y'all think. And don't forget our social media. Check the description. We got X, we got Twitter, same thing. We got Instagram, we got TikTok, all of it. All the links are there. We want to hear from y'all. With that being said, hey, let's get back to the video.
All right, y'all, we're back. We are ready to discuss the aftermath of Money in the Bank as well as Monday Night Raw from a few nights ago. With that being said, we'll just roll right into it. So the big thing that, well, it started off the show actually 2 Monday Night Raws ago, and it definitely is the big story they're running with, would be the fact that CM Punk and John Cena are now in a rivalry for that belt. It was John Cena coming out with CM Punk coming out to kind of like confront him. The big kind of thing here is that CM Punk's literally just straight up going, "Hey, I want my title shot," and John Cena's like, "Yeah, sure, you can have it, but you're gonna follow me to Saudi Arabia to do it." I'll just make a note here, just for people that aren't aware, so you have the knowledge. There's a lot of backstory to this. The idea that CM Punk is going to Saudi Arabia at all is actually a massive deal. He was once infamously kind of like quoted as being like, basically him and The Miz were talking shit against each other on Twitter. This was when CM Punk was definitely not a part of WWE anymore, and he basically says like, go suck some billionaire's blood money soaked dick or something. Like he made it a thing to be like, you're the one getting money from Saudi Arabian billionaires, not me. But all of a sudden now, CM Punk is back. CM Punk is getting money from the Saudi billionaires. He's going to wrestle for the belt with John Cena in Saudi Arabia. So
Money.
John Cena actually weaved that into this and was like, I'm going to give you your title shot, but it's not before I let the whole world know that you're a hypocrite. Which honestly, that is a little fire. I'm not going to lie to you, from John Cena. Like, it's kind of fire, but that's just a little thing.
But then on the Friday Night
yeah.
SmackDown, CM Punk basically turned that hypocrite talk and was like, "Oh no, I'm not the hypocrite. You're the hypocrite."
Right.
And basically, he's like, "You're looking like CM Punk. You're looking like you."
That was good. You're sounding like CM
Punk.
Punk. The way he said that was really funny. Like, you're trying to ruin wrestling? Yeah.
No, he's CM Punk is cooking. He's definitely cooking with these. And not really letting Cena talk. They're really just letting CM Punk just do all of it for whatever reason. Cena's just like,
I think we'll get
take it,
that soon. I would actually go as far to say maybe this Friday, because we are recording on Wednesday. I would say maybe this Friday is where we get the big John Cena, like, classic Cena talking
promo,
Punk down, calling him a few cuss words, all those great things.
I love it.
Get a bitch out of him, maybe, that kind of thing. But there is a third spoke in this wheel that we haven't mentioned yet. As we did say on the Money in the Bank section of this show, R-Truth has returned, but not as simply R-Truth. He cut a promo a couple weeks ago on Raw where it is him basically saying, like, y'all wanted the truth, you got the truth. Like, he starts it off saying, like, don't ever let anybody tell you don't matter. It was a good little promo from him. Part of it felt like, oh, maybe it was on the script. Part of it felt like it was from the heart. That's the kind of stuff that's always going to get me. Like, I love that kind of shit. And he ends it basically being like, I am the truth. Like, y'all can't handle the truth. I'm nothing but the truth. Whatever his like classic line is. And he says, the truth shall set you free. And he basically ends it going, I am Ron Killings. And right before that, he takes out a pair of scissors and cuts off his locks and dreads. I guess I don't know exactly what that would be when you have them all. Twists, I guess, is what they would be. So he cuts it all off to have no more hair, just like little patches.
Like straight up. Dude,
oh
straight
my
up.
God. These were some of the most genuine crowd reactions I've ever seen. Excellent camera work. Like, you see people like this, like completely shell shocked that he was doing this.
Yeah,
like, it was
wow.
amazing. So he inserts himself very specifically against John Cena. And just to say, at the end of the CM Punk and John Cena little feud on SmackDown that we just mentioned, CM Punk says something along the lines of like, "Oh, you aren't ready for the truth," or something like that. And then boom, Ron Killings comes in and starts wailing on Cena.
Yeah.
Since we're on the subject, that does lead into who would it be? Nick Aldis setting a match between now Ron Killings versus John Cena this Friday on SmackDown. So a rematch, not for the belt, but it is a rematch, and I'm low-key wondering if Ron does get that dub because there's no belt on the line, and they want to give one last big hurrah of like, hey, he beat heel champion mainstream Cena. And maybe that's how they kind of start the story of Cena coming back to Earth. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I think it'll be Ron Killings winning because CM Punk,
Helps.
screws
Yeah,
over
that
John
could
Cena,
also
right?
be. Yeah, that would make a lot of
and
sense.
then it gives John Cena the loss. It gives CM Punk the upper hand going into Saudi Arabia.
Saudi, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah, I think that could happen for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but that's kind of that feud, that this new direction for the main champ of WWE right now. I mean, the most popular person in WWE being CM Punk, and the most kind of hot commodity in the WWE being Ron Killings, like all now weaved into this one big story. It's really fun.
Yep.
And I really hope they don't mess it up, I guess is what I would say. So, cool.
I agree.
Next important thing we'll just touch on, not a lot to say about it, but Roxanne Perez did qualify in the Women's Queen of the Ring tournament. She I guess I can't remember every single person that was in that match. I'll just say it was her. It was like Liv.
It was Rhea.
Her, Liv, Rhea, and then was it Kyrie in that match? I think so, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Let's just say it's Kyrie. The point is, Roxanne rolled up and took the pin. I think she took it from Kyrie or whoever that was. Like, Kyrie was about to roll up somebody like Liv. She saves Liv by rolling her up out of that pin into her own I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a crab pin or whatever, where you kind of do like what Charlotte does when she does her figure 8 leg lock. Really cool stuff. I mean, just want to say that Roxanne Perez, there's a reason. Right. There's a reason one of our most viewed videos is called Raw is Roxanne. Raw is Roxanne. I'm waiting for her to start saying that herself. I hope that catches on. Like, that'd be sick because I haven't seen it anywhere else. I'm going to claim that if she does start saying it. I'll tell you that right now because she's a top 5 woman in wrestling right now, in my opinion. Like, everything she does is awesome. Her promos are great, and her wrestling is amazing. And she's not old. Like, she's very young. It's, like, scary young at how good she is. So, awesome that she won that. I think she deserved it. Like, do you have any kind of thoughts or notes on that, or just want to roll right through that one?
No, it was a good way to win, and it was a good way to keep the storyline going of the Judgment Day stuff, right? So, like you said, it was Kyrie about to pin Liv, and Roxanne pulled her away and kind of rolled up on top of her and ended up 1, 2, 3. And in the back, Liv was like, what are you doing? Like, what happened? And Roxanne's like, I just saved you. I saved you from losing.
And to be clear,
staying in the clubhouse. Like, that's
to be clear,
right?
They start off before anyone else does their entrances. They do one of those little backstage promo into entrance things. And Roxanne's literally like, hey, let's strategize. Let's like win. And it almost does feel like she's saying, I'll help you win. Like, kind of. And Liv's like, the best woman will win. And then she walks off. And it's like, okay, exactly. Like, all right. You know what I mean? At a certain point, they are definitely doing it's all fake, obviously. So they're making it out to be this way. But it's like, it is obvious they want it to be like, it's kind of Liv's fault that this is like going wrong. You know, it's not Roxanne's fault just because she's there. It is Liv's fault for not being willing to work with her, but it's obviously because Roxanne is trying to steal Dom from her, right? So it's kind of like it is a really fun story. Jesus Christ. I mean, I guess we'll just touch on it. No, okay, we'll say we'll touch more on Liv and all that here in a little
Yeah,
bit,
we'll do
but
it at the actual. Yeah.
we'll roll right on through. The next big thing that happened on that Raw was that Sami Zayn qualified for his King of the Ring match.
Yep.
I certainly don't remember who he beat in that match, but it was solid. I remember enjoying it, and I remember feeling like
Braun was in it. Braun, was
Braun,
definitely
you're
in
right.
it.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're totally right. Because there's that spot where Braun has Sammy up against the ropes, and he's looking at the crowd, and he's all mad. He's like, "This is the guy you guys freaking cheer for. This is the guy." And then he starts slapping him. The crowd's like, "Yeah." But that was fun. Yeah, I don't know. It definitely was like it made sense that Sammy won. They got to do this no matter what the stipulation is, whether it's some type of Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, King of the Ring, anything like that's, hey, these guys are going for the belt. All they've done with Sami Zayn since me and you started watching years ago is go, Sami Zayn's a guy that's got to get his, right? This is his moment. He runs that energy to the ends of the earth until someone actually just beats him. And then you're like, oh.
He's the modern day Rocky in WWE. He
Literally.
rocks.
No, but it's like, imagine being Rocky for 3 years. Like, that's what it's kind of getting a little ridiculous, I guess, is kind of the point I'm trying to make here. Like, please give Sammy a belt soon. Like, now it's just like, there's too many guys that are stacking up for like should be champs at least once sometime soon. They're starting to stack up too quickly, and it's like you got to start like releasing the valve a little bit. Like you got to give these guys a little more chances. But whatever, cool. Sammy won. Yeah. He is the first contender for the men's. Am I missing anything from the Raw, or are we good to move to the SmackDown?
Yeah. Yeah, the biggest thing, or the second biggest thing.
Oh my God! Oh my God! You're absolutely right. How could I forget the best wrestler in WWE, the best wrestler in the world, reclaiming his rightful place as the World Heavyweight Champion? Gunta! Jey Uso, sayonara. Yep. If you're a fan of this show, we literally called it to a T. Jey Uso wouldn't keep that belt for long. He would lose it in a dramatic fashion, just like Jeff Hardy, and that's exactly what happened. They literally brought his fucking son out with him, and Jey loses this
as soon as that happened,
in a chokehold. It was obvious, and it was as soon as he came down the ramp, I was like, yes, it's gonna be Gunter, because that's what they did with Chad Gable too and his kids. It's just like they love doing that with Gunter. He is the ultimate bad guy. Where Gunter is right now versus exactly, I'm not even saying years ago, exactly just 1 year ago where he started this main event run, he has made so many strides, so many steps forward as just a fucking badass, like just a piece of shit that everybody hates, and he really makes you realize, like, I am better than you. And you thought they were going
to get rid of Gunther.
I couldn't believe that. I don't know what happened. Gunter did the whole erase everything from his social media, and I was getting scared. And now, hey, that's all in the past.
Is that both of our favorites are going to be interacting with each other?
Yes, that's so true. So now we're going to get, at some point, well, I guess we're going to get to the Raw here in a minute. We won't go too deep into what's happening yet there, but there is something set up. First, we'll touch on SmackDown, but I just wanted to say I loved it. I love the match. Everybody does shit on Jey for his wrestling, but him and Gunter get the absolute best out of each other. They have so much chemistry at this point. It's obvious why they ran it back 3 times or whatever, how many times it's been. 4, I guess, at this point, with the Intercontinental belt included. And so... it ended with Gunter, the same shit. He chokes him out. Jey almost gets out of it, but then Gunter reins him in like damn, like like a sheepdog or whatever they call him. Like literally, like, get on in here now. You're not going nowhere. I'm getting you. And Jey is literally reaching out and trying not to tap. He's reaching out to where his son is sitting. I don't know if you caught that, like the direction he's reaching to try to like keep his consciousness up is where his son was sitting. So he's reaching, and then he gives in. I don't think he tapped either. The ref was doing the arm raising thing. Passes out. Gunter's your champ. And on Raw, I guess I am spoiling this a little bit. On Raw, this most recent one, they gave him a literal like WrestleMania entrance. Like fireworks. Like they want you to know that we care about Gunther. The company
This is Gunther.
cares about Gunther. Man, I hope to God. I know maybe that's not what they want to do with Ludwig right now. I'm just going to say that they should, because I haven't seen Ludwig in it's been way too long without Ludwig.
Yeah,
if they want to bring Imperium back, bring Imperium back. It now makes a ton of sense, because now you have factions coming for Gunther. It would make sense for him to have like a defense force being Imperium. But anyways, that's besides the fact.
Well, we'll get to it, but I've seen some rumors.
Okay.
A lot of rumors lately of something happening. And that's what we've talked about before. So I'll talk about it in a little bit.
Okay, I'm excited for that, because I'm not aware of what you're talking about. So, but I have a feeling. I have a feeling. So okay, cool. Do you have any? I know I definitely talked a lot about that. Gunther's my guy, y'all. So that's fine. But do you have any kind of thoughts on this, or what did you feel about this changing of the belts on a main show, like not a pay-per-view, just a nightly show?
We've mentioned it before. Like I'm loving these title changes not at main pay-per-views.
Yep.
Because it makes it a little bit more unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
Solely at first, before, like I did not think we were in the knowledge of like the cash-in happening. Right, we were like, "Oh, the cash-in's gonna happen."
Yeah,
cash-in's gonna happen.
We were pretty.
We didn't even get Seth coming out for it. Literally, Seth didn't even walk out for it.
Didn't even pump fake it.
So it was nice. It was nice just to kind of see that, right? So yeah, no, I'm thankful that Jey Uso is no longer champion. I love Jey.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
No offense, Jey. We still love you. It's not that we don't want you on TV or anything. It's just.
Gunther can at least carry a promo.
The belt feels a little bit better on some people, like Gunther. So that's what I would say. But yeah, I don't have a lot else to say on that match itself. Really fun, really awesome. I loved it. I cannot believe I almost completely forgot to even talk about it. That's how natural it feels to me that Gunther is the champ. It's not even something that needs to be discussed. Yeah. So cool. All right. So we will now roll into the SmackDown. I know we just took probably more time on that than we thought, but we'll try to touch on these things that happen real quick. We already kind of touched on the fact that, again, there were more interactions between R-Truth, John Cena, and CM Punk on SmackDown. The only other kind of extra thing was the fact that, for one, I would say CM Punk got the better of John Cena in this promo as far as shit talking, whatever. He said, you had actually just mentioned it to me, he said this line along the lines of like, you're saying you want to ruin wrestling, John. You're sounding a lot like CM Punk, actually, and it's like the crowd kind of got a ooh out of that. It was fun, but it ends with a little bit of like this idea of like, I already said it, but basically he says something along the lines of like, hey, you can't handle the truth, or if you want the truth, here you go, something like that. And Ron Killings does attack him, and that's what set up that match that I mentioned. But yeah, just wanted to touch on that real quick because that happened on SmackDown. But we can go into the actual meat and bones of SmackDown of what happened. Being the first that Jacob and Solo are now in a true feud. They did this really fun thing where this felt like good old... I don't know how you felt when you watched this. Like, this to me felt like good old-fashioned WWE, 90s WWE, early 2000s WWE. Jacob comes out, crowd is all over him. Man, I would even say it felt a little misty in there, like some old school shit. A little bit of fog in there. Like, can't really see everything behind Jacob because it's like still the pyro and all that. He's just out there like, Solo! Come on out here, like, I don't remember, it didn't take him long to be like, come on out here, and like talking all this shit, like, I don't need you, all this thing, and then you hear just over the Jumbotron, Jacob, because Solo's like, I'm not even gonna, like, think about coming in that ring, I'm gonna hit you with the video promo, and he basically is like, I really like this act. This was probably the best evil act Solo's ever done, straight up, in WWE, like, to this point. They've tried very hard to make him an evil guy for a couple years now. This one felt he's getting there, man. He's getting there. If y'all hopped off the Solo train, this is probably the last stop before he hits that true level of stardom and everybody goes, oh yeah, I love Solo Sikoa. Yeah, not only is he funny, but that's kind of what I mean. He's been funny and he's only been getting funnier. But the evil side is hard to grasp. It's hard to grasp. And I think this promo, there was no funny business. He was being a good bad guy. And he was saying things along the lines of like, basically like the big line at the end and this just kind of encapsulates the entire thing is him going, Jacob, remember who brought you here? I brought you into this world. and I have no issue taking you out. Like, that was kind of the big, oh shit, like that's true. Solo is literally the one that brought all of these people in. Like, that's been the story from the start. Anyone that's not Roman, Jey, or Jimmy, Solo is the one that brought them there. Not Paul Heyman, not Roman, not even the Uso brothers. It was always Solo as like this, like kingmaker in a way. Like, I'm the one pulling strings. So I loved it. What do you think? You kind of already just said it, like what you're saying, but like what are your thoughts on Solo, Jacob? All of it.
I love it, man. I mean, I predicted that Solo's going to take the title from Jacob ever since he won the thing, right?
You're right.
So yeah,
you're so right. You have been saying that.
So yeah, I'm ready for it. I'm ready. I'm glad that they're pulling the trigger a little bit early. Maybe not a WrestleMania feud. Maybe it is a WrestleMania feud. Maybe this literally lasts until all the way up till WrestleMania. I don't know how it's going to work.
Yeah.
We did get the weird. We got Hikuleo debuting before SmackDown.
Oh, yeah. I completely forgot about that. Oh, my God. And not that there's anything wrong with him. I can't claim to know. But did you see the clip? Do you know what I'm talking about? Did you see the clip of him?
No, I don't know what.
So his finisher is a lariat, which is just like, it's a clothesline. But it's like a spinning lariat. Okay? So if I want to clothesline you with my right arm and it's a spin, it would make sense that I spin this way, right? So when I come back around, I hit you with my right arm, right? Hikuleo,
Damian Priest does.
Yeah, and Damian spins the right way. Hikuleo's ass, this is the first time he's ever done his finisher in WWE. He spun the other way and then just did it. It's like, why did you spin? Why did you spin? You literally, it doesn't make any sense. And people were roasting him for it. But luckily, it wasn't on TV, so I guess it's a good time to mess up.
That's
but it's like, but that's why it was a really, really unfortunate thing to like go kind of viral in WWE internet spaces. Like, oh, he's not on TV. Well, why is that? Well, here's a clip. Here's him messing up his finisher, his first chance. Not great, but he looked good. Like, he looked athletic, I guess. You know what I mean? It wasn't like bad that way. It was just
again,
like,
he's huge. He's like
he's a big dude. Oh yeah,
but he's like 6'5" plus or something.
It was exactly just like, oh my God, it geeked me, but nah.
So I guess to my point with that, it would be just like, I'm so sure they're going to be bringing in more and more,
even more
bloodline people. Even Jacob Fatu might take Tama Tonga and Tongaloa on his side, and Solo now gets JC Mateo and Hikuleo, and they have the 3v3, right? So that could happen. Who knows? There's 100 bloodline members,
and you could still at some point conceivably do Roman, Jimmy, and Jey again. There's no reason you can't. There's no reason you can't.
You 100% could. So there's so many different avenues that they can go down with this, and I'm ready for it. I mean, a bloodline storyline is going to be top tier for years to come.
Oh yeah,
Roman Reigns has said it to that. Like Roman, Jimmy, and Jey have said it to that. That's standard, and anything that happens bloodline now, people are just gonna love.
And it's my last note. It's never gonna go away, no matter how much y'all like it or don't like it. It literally doesn't matter, because The Rock is going to literally, if there's anything he does with his ownership of his part ownership, at least
he's going to make
TKO,
sure that it's a part
he's going to make sure
that
they're never going to leave. It's always going to. Now maybe we go away from the bloodline, but all these guys are never going to leave your screen. They're only going to
exactly.
They're always going to have somebody or some people. But yeah, that's I guess all we got on the whole Solo Jacob bloodline as we know it right now. The only other big things that happened on SmackDown of last week would be the fact that so who was it? There were 2 women's and then 1 men's. So Cody Rhodes is. Oh, sorry.
We also got one other one, because I remember this happening, and I don't know if we missed the SmackDown in between. If we did, I apologize. But so you're going off of it. So Alexa Bliss won, Jade Cargill won.
Yeah.
We had Cody Rhodes win, and Randy Orton also won.
Oh, you're totally right. That was probably the SmackDown. Was that right before Money in the Bank, or did they?
It could have been.
Man, I don't
know.
remember either. I don't remember. Maybe we got 2 and 2. Maybe that's what they did. They got 2 and 2.
Maybe we did. But so as of right now, we do have 4 women Well, I guess we have 3 women and 3 men, and we'll get to the other 2 winners here when we talk about
Raw,
Monday
yeah.
Night Raw.
But here, go ahead and
But
list them
yeah,
out.
so
Who up to that point would be
yeah,
the
we
3 and
have
3?
so as of right now for the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring qualifiers for the semifinals, we have Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn for the men, and then we have for the women Roxanne Perez, Jade Cargill, and Alexa Bliss.
Not bad. Not
So
bad.
we have all 6 of those men and women right now, and again there were 2 other winners on Raw. I'll just say them right now. So
Yeah, go ahead.
whatever.
That's fine.
We had Jey Uso win on Raw for the men's side, and we have Asuka who coming back.
Yes, that was awesome.
From her hiatus, winning. So now we have going into I think what's going to be starting this upcoming Friday. We are going to start getting the
Those
semifinals
one-on-ones.
matches.
Yep.
So it'll be it's Randy Orton and Sami Zayn versus Randy Orton versus
each other.
Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
And then Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso.
That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy.
It is pretty wild. It's pretty wild. I wish that they would have like a losers bracket, because then we would get Sammy and Jay, and then also Randy versus Cody. 2 things that everybody wants right now.
Wants, yeah.
So it's just like it's very enticing. And then Cody, in my opinion, we are getting Cody versus Randy at King of the Ring.
I think that at this point that's pretty
to determine who's going to take down John Cena.
You know what?
Who's going to get that John Cena match?
It's
perfect. It's perfect storyline.
I'm gonna be a bastard. I think Sammy wins. I
could see it though.
I think Sammy
honestly
wins.
could see it.
I think it'll be a big shock. I say that, and then
because of Karrion Kross. I can see it because of
Karrion.
Basically, okay. So what
all
we can
of
do
it,
right now, Daniel, what we can do right now is we can kind of SmackDown's pretty much done. We've pretty much talked about everything that's happened. We can bleed into Monday Night Raw now.
Yeah, let's do.
And
Monday
we
Night
will
Raw.
bleed into, because I think Sami Zayn can also do what you're saying and win, because he's going to tap into what Karrion Kross has been telling him.
The promo that I see. Yeah, because they just had that promo on Raw. So yeah, if you want to talk about
either Karrion and Sammy are going to feud, and they're going to fight, and they're going to do all that stuff, or Sammy's going to let the voices in his head end up beating Randy Orton. The only problem is that Randy would have to take a pin, and I don't know.
My
if you want
thing
Randy
is
to take a pin
like
other than John Cena. So that's the only problem. So I don't know.
My thing with Randy, I mean, he's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, which I know that's not like a crazy thing to say. A lot of people probably would say that, but
yeah.
It sounds very obvious to say, but I don't think a lot of people think of it this way. Like, he's only getting older and older and older. I don't know how much he actually genuinely wants to be like one of these guys that's always there. I think there's a reason that he kind of comes back. He leaves and comes back. He leaves and comes back.
Well, you're right about that.
I don't know if I think maybe for him right now the best thing would to just be take a pin from Sammy. But what you're saying, it's not just a pin. Like I think what's going to happen is Sammy cheats. Like, he does something that is a cheat, because I wouldn't even be surprised if a lead up into the match is a promo from Karrion where he's talking to him backstage and he's like, are you going to do what needs to be done? Are you going to do what needs to be done, Sammy? Or are you just going to let the legend killer push you out to the side and go? And I wouldn't even, because Karrion likes to break that fourth wall. He's going to be like, everybody wants to see Cody versus Randy, right? They don't want to see you. Are you going to let them do that to you? Like, that kind of shit. I honestly could see word for word that exact, yes. Yep.
And then also Sammy has a huge backing in Saudi Arabia because of his background.
That's totally true. That's totally true. They love him there.
So, yeah, you have to have, because Randy's popular everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Randy Orton. So anytime Randy goes anywhere, they love him. Sami Zayn specifically has a lot of popularity in Canada. Obviously, that's where he's from, and Saudi Arabia, because that is his bloodline, that is his background. And they always make sure that Sammy is in those shows. So I can see it. I truly and genuinely can.
It's there. It really is.
Either or, it's a coin flip at this point, right?
Or maybe what does make more sense is Randy does beat him, and that is the catalyst for Sammy to be like, you know what, dude? Dude? I'm snapping. Exactly. Right.
So I can see every spider web that's going down, and I can see all the avenues that it can go.
Yeah.
So again, if it was a coin flip, and you could take Sammy or you can take Randy. I think it's going to be Randy, because I definitely think they want to at least preview it. the Cody versus Randy feud.
We
'Cause I
agree
know
that
for a
it's
fact
Cody
Jay's not
over
winning.
Jay.
Jay's not
We're already assuming it's Cody over Jay, right?
Jay's
Just
not
to be
winning.
clear.
Jay's not
Jay's, there's no
No.
way. Sorry.
There's no way Jay wins. Um,
Sorry.
so yes, I agree that Cody is going to beat Jay. And like again, I just think they want to capitalize on that right now. If Cody doesn't get a belt and then Randy can't come in and say, Cody, I built you, I made you, let me take your belt from you, that type of stuff, right? So if they build on it right now, I think that's probably their biggest chance and their best bet. Especially again, it is in Saudi Arabia. It is I wouldn't be surprised if the Saudi Arabian president or whatever it is, prime minister, whatever they have, is like, we want Cody versus Randy.
Literally.
Give me that.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
seriously. And
I have a feeling
let's
they
sign
honestly do that kind of, like, low-key, I think they do kind of
Oh,
make matches.
100% they do.
And they're
100%
like,
they do. They're like, yeah, we want.
This is what
we
my kids want, yeah.
We want Rhea Ripley. We want Randy Orton. We want John Cena. We want every big name. But they're getting every big name. So, but
Well,
okay. So
you know what? That's a great segue into, I was going to say, usually they'd say we want Liv Morgan. However, Liv Morgan is hurt, y'all. Liv Morgan dislocated her shoulder a couple of days ago. That was really tragic. It was a singles match versus Kyrie.
Daniel and I were watching this like together.
Yeah.
And because I'm
It
watching
was
the
very
Canadian
confusing.
stream. I'm streaming the Canadian stream for him, right? And it's during a commercial break. Like I still see the little timer up in the top right. It says 50 seconds left. And there's like the Liv Morgan can no longer go on with the match or whatever, and it's during the commercial, and I'm like looking over my screen because sometimes I don't really pay attention to them like they're in that.
Oh no,
stuff.
I was barely paying attention myself. We were both like, "What's going on?" Like,
I'm
what?
like, I heard like Liv Morgan can no longer compete, and I'm like, did they just call the match?
Yeah.
In a commercial break.
Yep.
What just happened? And I was like, okay. So you can even ask Daniel. I rewinded it back to
on the Netflix
point,
stream.
and I was like, what happened? What literally
Dude.
happened?
And it was literally
it was,
one
It was
move.
literally immediately the match started. They did one move, like you just said, and then Liv hurt her shoulder or broke her arm or whatever.
It was just a really standard, like, oh, you run at me, I do the little, like, I clip your legs with my legs so it trips
clip
you.
your legs and then you fall and you catch yourself.
Liv falls down and it just I guess you could barely even tell that she was injured. It wasn't like a graphic
That's
looking.
two main injuries, and I'm not saying it's Kyrie's fault.
No, but it's
That's
very
two main
unlucky.
injuries
Yes, that Kyrie.
that Kyrie has been in.
It's very unfortunate.
Wild, very wild. Unless this was a whole play on.
I don't think
something?
it was. I don't think it was.
Unless this is the whole plan on something, and they're trying to be like, oh,
because
Kyrie hurts people, like how they did with Ridge Holland a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So it could be
Well,
that
because
way.
remember what we kind of realized, like, the show ended way earlier than it obviously was supposed to, and that's obvious because they had a whole 10-15 minute thing just not there, not a part of the show, because the match was over immediately. So that was tragic. This obviously puts a wrench in a lot of things because Liv is a current champion. They're clearly building a lot with the Roxanne stuff.
Yep.
I'm imagining the last few days of the WWE writers' room has been first and foremost figuring out how to rewrite this story, because now Liv's got it.
I was
She's
actually
mostly
thinking about this.
Yeah.
Go
for it.
I'll give you my prediction for it. So it's going to be Finn Balor it's going to kind of be like how when Finn was like when Liv was recording her movie or whatever, Finn's going to be like, oh, now that Liv's gone, I'm in charge, and this is how things are going to be ran. This is how we're going to do things, and slowly kind of kick Liv out of the group. Kind of like how they did Rhea back in the day when Rhea was like hurt or gone or whatever. Like we're going to slowly kick Liv out of the group. Roxanne's going to come take over. Roxanne and Dom are going to have
I think they're just going to go full force ahead.
I accidentally fell on top of you, and then this is what. Oh, and then JD came and caught us, or Raquel came and caught us. Like even something happened with Raquel in the backstage, where Raquel's like, you know what, Finn is actually kind of right. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh no, absolutely.
Or she's like icing her shoulder and everything. So I think that's the storyline they're going with. That's why I thought it may have been a play. But who knows? Who knows completely? And nobody knows. So, I mean, when Rhea got hurt that other time, like Rhea was truly hurt.
It was real, yeah. Yeah, it just happened that way.
So
some type of curse
sure that
going
they're
on.
they're just gonna redo it, and I can see it happening, and it's gonna be good once it happens. Liv will come back, like how the same thing Rhea did, right? where Liv is on top of Dom and they're like getting ready to like kiss and stuff, and then Rhea's like, and then Dom's like, get off of me.
Yeah,
He's
no,
like,
no, I wasn't
So
doing anything.
I'm sure the same type of thing is
A
gonna
lot
be,
of chicken tendies in Dom's future, I think.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So cool. We already touched on like the different Queen and King of the Ring things from this Raw. So I like the other truly big thing is the fact that it wasn't because he was in the crowd. Goldberg made his return. A little predictable, not gonna lie to y'all. There were rumors online that this would be the case even like a week ago. It ended up just straight up being the case. Like, yep, Goldberg's here. He's here to challenge Gunther, not just to a match, but for the belt. And Gunther accepted. And so they are set to do a title match, Goldberg versus Gunther, at Saturday Night Main Event in a couple weeks. Now, again, just so y'all understand,
someone said like gold. Oh, it was Bret Hart. Bret Hart said this because I listened to it on the Pat McAfee show. He said Bret Hart was like Goldberg on a Saturday night's main event. What year is this?
Yeah, literally.
Like that. I was like, dude, that's hilarious. Because Bret Hart and Goldberg had that. Like,
they had a massive,
They hate each other.
That's why. That's why Gunther was like, my favorite wrestler of all time is Bret Hart. And it was like, that was funny. That was fucking funny. But I was basically just gonna say like, there's one big reason they're doing this. If it feels forced, if it feels rushed, because it is. And just like, if you look at all these Saturday Night Main events that they're doing, right, and how they like throw these big name matches together, but it's like obvious nothing is going to come of it. It's because AEW does their pay-per-views on those exact dates. So the big one coming up is the All In for AEW. The big promo match for them is Okada versus who's like the biggest deal in AEW? Goddamn Kenny Omega. So Kenny Omega versus Okada is like, that's a big match for wrestling worldwide fans. WWE is all they're doing is trying to be like, well, if you like Goldberg and Gunther, watch our show instead. Like, it means nothing to no one. It certainly doesn't mean as much as the Kenny Omega Okada match, but fuck them. And that's why they're doing this. Gunther's gonna. I'm just gonna say it right now. Gunther's gonna not just win that match. They're gonna absolutely demolish old rickety ass Goldberg. Gunther literally tweeted out. He was like something like, "Oh, I can't wait for this 3-minute exercise" or something along those lines. It was really funny. Like, I'm gonna take this old man out for a walk or something like that. And it was like, Jesus Christ. Look, y'all. Goldberg was sweating just coming down the ring and talking to Gunther. Like, I feel the same way I feel about this as I felt about The Rock in WrestleMania.
I'm kind of pissed they didn't give him his traditional like walk down with the
with the Titantron and people going, cool. Yeah. They still chanted Goldberg. He still did the thing.
They did.
You're next, all that. It was fun. Like, it's not fun. I think there are some people hating on this too hard. Like, what's wrong with a legend coming back and getting his ass beat? This WWE's been doing this for decades. It's not like anything crazy new. Like, it's a Saturday Night Main Event, right? This isn't. If they were like, this is Gunther's title defense on SummerSlam.
I think it's just more people really just don't like Goldberg. People hate Goldberg.
I know, I get it. They hated Goldberg, and he's old, so they hate the idea of like, what are we giving an old guy a match? Which, yeah, that is what they're doing. So look, I think it'll be fun to watch Gunther beat his ass. And look, this is why it's fun having Seth, Paul, and them have the Money in the Bank. Maybe they do cash in. You know what? Maybe the point that Goldberg has is not to beat Gunther, but just to wear him down. And that's kind of like the reasoning they give for Seth to have an easy cash in. Yep. Maybe. Just saying. But yeah, that happened. Other than that, I guess I'll just touch real quick. You already mentioned it, but yeah, Bayley and Becky had a little interaction. We already talked about it earlier, so we don't really need to talk about it again. But
not too much.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't know. I guess like what I'll touch on is like the main event. Like, it ended up being that Seth and Cody were in the ring with each other, having a face down for the first for the first time in years. I'm gonna be so honest, I don't even remember how we got there. I think it was just a promo or something, right? Like,
Cody?
Yeah, remember Cody comes out near the end. So it was the last qualifier, so the match that Jey won. Do you remember, like, who was it? Bronson was in this match, so Seth and Breaker come out to help him. So then subsequently Sammy and Cody come out to help Jey. Jey does get the win, like we already
Oh, I
said.
didn't know Cody came out.
Yeah. And near the very end,
yeah.
they end the show with Cody and Seth like having a stare down, and it's like people just off of them looking at each other, people were giving holy shit, because it's like, yeah, dude, they haven't seen each other in years. WWE has kept them apart on purpose for this entire time. And so, Tyler, walk with me here, okay? The obvious thing that you just said it near the beginning of the episode, well, Cody, maybe some foreshadowing that he beats John. Is Seth Rollins waiting for Cody to win that belt? He doesn't want Gunther's.
Oh, you're so right. I remember it because someone was saying Seth has never beat Cody.
Never beat Cody.
Seth has never.
Remember,
beat Cody.
they let Cody beat Seth with a broken pec, a torn pec, not broken, but a torn pec. They let him beat Seth with that. You think Seth was like, oh, I love losing to a guy with a torn pec. Oh, that's awesome for me, dude. Like, no. He's like, no, I want to get mine. That would be the perfect revenge if he makes it seem like he's going to cash in on Gunther, but then the twist is that he cashes in on Cody, let's say, sometime down the line. It doesn't have to be soon.
Cody finally wins. Cody
takes it from John. He saved us. Yeah.
And then burn it down.
Yeah, that would be awesome. We're doing foreshadowing way too down the line, but yeah, look, y'all. Do you have any other thoughts on?
World, dude.
Yeah, we can say whatever we want. That's the point. This is the D&T wrestling show. Yeah. I'm the D and he's the T.
No,
okay, so.
I think everything's good. No, so yeah. That's pretty much everything that has happened in wrestling since we
kind of missed.
Again, we do apologize for taking some time, but again, we are going to be back to normal, regular videos, either 1 or 2 per week, whatever we can work out. But yeah, so this is the recap of the aftermath of Money in the Bank and the
most recent Raw. Yeah,
most recent Monday Night Raw on June 16th, 2025. So now we will get into the basically overview of what we think of the WWE in 2025 so far, and that's coming up next. What's up, D&T Nation? It is your boy Tyler, the T in the D&T, and I wanted to just stop here and say thank you to you guys for actually watching the videos and commenting and doing all the stuff that you guys do. We really, really appreciate it. I did want to quickly address, we do have our social media pages set up. We have our TikTok, our Twitter, our Instagram, our TikTok, D&T Pod, our Twitter and Instagram, the D&T Pod. So give us a follow, and we'll be seeing you guys again shortly. Thank you. The titles.
All right, y'all, we are back for our last segment of the video. Like we said, we are going to be discussing the first half of the year 2025 for WWE, for all the Friday Night SmackDowns, all the Monday Night Raws, all the pay-per-views in between, the champions right now, the kind of feuds they have running with those people, and just what are our thoughts on all of that. So, without further ado, we'll get to the best champion in the world, the best wrestler in the world, the best heel in WWE, Gunther, your world heavyweight champion. I'll just start off by saying, obviously this is like the most recent title change. That's kind of why we started with it. I love Gunther. You can literally never go wrong having the belt on him. There's a reason that he was able to hold the Intercontinental belt for just so long with only, Giovanni and Ludwig as like any kind of like support, right? And it still worked really well. He's already had this World Heavyweight belt. He has it again now. He beat Jey. I guess what I'll say that I don't like, so it doesn't just sound too much of a, insert word here fest type of thing. Like, I don't like what they're doing with this Goldberg thing. We'll just say it just straight up. This Goldberg thing is obvious. I already just said it in our last segment. It is very obviously just a way for them to compete with All In AEW that Saturday that it's happening. We all know Goldberg's not winning. The only way it would be made interesting is if it, again, we already said it, but like Goldberg maybe weakens Gunther to a point that Seth catches in. Whatever. That would be interesting, I guess. I do think Gunther should get at least a little bit of a run here. But I'll say this, what I think could be added on, and I think maybe this would be a good time to bring up what you were saying earlier. They need to bring Imperium back. Get Ludwig back in the stable. They were hinting at some big singles push from Ludwig. I don't know why you couldn't do it while he is a part of Imperium. I don't know why that couldn't be the case while Gunther is an actual established world champion. Bring Ludwig back and bring the newest member of Imperium in, who we predicted a few episodes ago, and I'm sticking with it as my prediction. Ilya Dragunov needs to be the third member of Imperium. Now, Tyler, I'm excited to know, who did you hear in the rumor mill that might be, if that even is what the rumor was? Tell me now. Tell me, please. What are the people saying?
So I'll bring it back just a little bit.
A little bit.
The rumor is that just Ilya is coming back.
Okay.
That's
okay.
Ilya is coming back.
We're halfway there.
It's obviously we are projecting that it's going to be part of, you would think, Imperium, which would be insanely sick. And obviously you and I have talked about it before.
We've been saying this, I think, like since one of our first episodes, we were saying it would be really cool if Ilya comes back and is a part of Imperium with Ludwig and Gunther, and that would be such a good faction of European wrestlers. But sorry, continue. Yes.
No, we've been saying it for a long time, and Ilya just puts on great matches. He really is a good promo worker. The only problem is I don't know how he would work as a heel. I've never seen it.
Fair.
So yeah, I mean, I'm sure he could do fantastic work. I'm sure he would do well. He was already kind of like the face version of like I don't want to say the squasher, but like, you know how every faction has like the Giovanni Vinci, or the
JD McDonough is like the poster boy of what you're saying. They have the person
that goes in and loses
to everyone.
And Ilya could do that, because Ilya will put on a hell of a match. He'll sell his ass off, and he'll make it all believable. If he's a heel, he'll make a face look like a face. Yeah, I promise you.
He is also just more likable in general than a JD or a Giovanni. So it'll be fine if he loses. I honestly would personally say that. I don't think people are going to be like,
well, that's what he was doing to Braun Breaker.
That's true. That's true.
He was losing every
He just kept losing. Didn't he? He hadn't won. I don't think he actually won a match. He had like multiple matches and kept losing.
No, he beat Ricochet.
He beat Ricochet. Right. I guess that's my point. Like, he beat fucking Ricochet, like the biggest joke in wrestling, bruh. But that's a whole. I don't even know if you heard about, just real quick. I don't know if you heard about. But did you hear what happened recently with Ricochet? Like with the lawsuit and everything. Like, did you? So
there's a lawsuit. No,
there's an AEW lawsuit where about a year ago. I'm gonna go through this real quick. I just think it's funny as shit. But like, Jon Moxley, obviously formerly in WWE, now one of the big stars in AEW, was having a steel cage match. They had broken out of the steel cage. This was a very extreme match and AEW is known a little bit for, like, they're more violent to WWE. They go more to like the bloodying, even though that shit is kind of hokey sometimes. Okay, AEW fans, don't kill me, but like sometimes it's a little lame. In this exact match, Jon Moxley is like trying to be all like, I'm a heel, I'm being aggressive. Like, I think he had just made his big heel turn. One of the outside of ring guys that are just there to like help with the camera crew or help just keep things all in order, for whatever reason, Jon Moxley just goes up to the guy and just fucking like grabs him by the face and the body and shoves him to the ground. Now, apparently this guy actually got injured from this, and he had not considered he had not considered doing anything. He just took the company insurance, went to the hospital, did his thing, and he had gotten a neck injury. But I guess what had happened was his bills piled up so bad that he was like, I have to file a lawsuit. Yeah. Like, I don't know how else to pay for this, so I'm going to sue AEW. The AEW fans, sorry, not the fans. The AEW sycophants do not understand like how to be normal adults, so they immediately side with AEW on that. And I'm literally recalling what I see on Reddit, Twitter, Blue Sky.
How are you siding with a company over a person? Why are you doing that?
Right, and these are the same people that are like taking all their time crapping on WWE and all the moral wrongs they do, which of course they exist. Obviously, we all know that WWE is like the least perfect company in the world. You know what I mean? Like, come on. But these are the same people that do that, but then they go and defend AEW for fighting back against the lawsuit instead of just giving the guy his payout. They actually are fighting back against this. This dumb motherfucker Ricochet quote tweets the video and goes, "Everybody is such a pussy nowadays." Are you fucking dumb? Are you stupid? is there a brain under that bald head of yours? Like, are you dumb? So obviously that guy's going to use that in the lawsuit.
God,
he deleted it, but he went viral. And at least again in the IWC, he went viral because people were like, "Is this motherfucker stupid?" I'm like, why would you say that? You're still a part of the company, and you could you could easily in court make a case that Ricochet is known as like a vocal authority figure at AEW. Like, he says things and people listen, the fans and the wrestlers and the management. And like, bro, are you dumb? So he deleted it. But that's just a quick story for y'all if y'all weren't aware of that. It was just really
That's hilarious.
That's who Ilya Dragunov beat, by the way. Like, that's kind of what we're saying, just to tie it all together. Like, Ilya needs to get in something good. If it's not with Gunther and Imperium, it should be like a quick, one of the first feuds is with Gunther or something like that. Maybe it is Ludwig. You know what I mean? Maybe it's Ludwig. I don't know. But yeah. Anything else you got on the World Heavyweight Championship picture, or are we good to move to the next kind of belt, or what are you feeling?
No, I'll give just a brief, like, so obviously we've had 2 champions, technically 3.
Oh, sure, yeah.
The same person re-won it again, but as of all of 2025, we've had Gunther, Jey Uso, and Gunther.
Yep.
Gunther and Jay's feud leading up to WrestleMania obviously wasn't the greatest. It got good towards the end.
It's gotten better.
Jey Uso obviously won at WrestleMania, beat Gunther by tapping him out, and
which was a good match. That was a good match.
Which was a good match. And then we got Jey Uso's run, which has been unfortunately very stale.
The only parts that are good were the Gunther parts. To be real with y'all, like Gunther got the best out of Jey. That is fact.
I guess my like, don't get me wrong, I like Gunther as champion. I'm just kind of upset that they ran Gunther versus Jey again.
I know what you mean.
I wish
Gunther didn't even earn
like,
it. It just
let's say Logan
happened.
Paul beat Jey. Let's say Logan Paul beat Jey, and then Gunther beats Logan Paul for it. Because they've done Jey Gunther 100 times already, it feels like. So the World Heavyweight Championship obviously is the lesser championship of the two. And I hate how they
it's just because it's newer.
It's because it's newer, but they're also treating it that way.
Oh, they do. Oh, they absolutely do.
Like, even the wrestlers,
yeah.
Like John Cena, for example. This is the prize that everybody wants. This is the one that everybody is after, and that's why I'm going to ruin wrestling and take it away.
Take it away. Yep.
Screw the other championship. We don't really care.
Because technically,
you can just have that one. That's what So they've made it this way. They've made their bed and they have to now lay in it.
Yeah.
Unless that's the very, very unfortunate part about all this. Seth Rollins did a amazing job boosting this championship to the level that it's at, to the level it needed to be, right? Before he lost it at WrestleMania to Drew. Everything since then.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, I agree.
Come on, man. Like, seriously? There hasn't been much. Because the thing is, that's the other thing. Gunther has had two feuds for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Jey and then
Damian Priest and Jey Uso.
That's right.
That's
right.
It.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It hasn't been much.
I love Gunther. I love what he's doing, and I like just.
It's more like they need to give it more.
My opinion.
They need to give it more. Management
needs
to give it better. Yeah.
Have more people go after it, want to go after it, or give more people the opportunity to go after it. That's all it's been. It's all it's been. There's been a total of like 5 people in the World Heavyweight feud picture, and it was Seth Rollins, Damian Priest, who else? Drew McIntyre for a little bit, obviously. Gunther and Jey Uso. That's it.
You know what just popped in my head?
And Finn Balor. Finn Balor had 1 match.
That's right. That's totally correct. But you know what just popped in my head? There's a quick button you can press, just a really quick button you can press if you're WWE, and maybe it is what they're planning. Cody Rhodes wins King of the Ring, and immediately has some type of little backstage thing with CM Punk where CM Punk's like, "I want John," and Cody's like, "Okay, I'm going after Gunther." Boom. Cody versus Gunther would be fire. That would be fire.
It was fire. It was fire at King of the Ring last year.
Then you're pulling Cody one thread closer to who? Seth Rollins. It would be awesome. That would be really cool. But yeah, I don't got much else to say on that belt. We can move on to this next one right here.
That's it for me.
Which maybe might be the one of the least interesting recently. This is certainly a case of them booking incorrectly and blah blah blah. Women's World Champion Io Sky.
Yeah.
This belt has been like
the hell have they
almost
done with
forgotten about for the last, I would say from the beginning of the year to now, it has felt like this belt has meant close to nothing. Especially since Io won it. Like has she had a title defense yet? I honestly, I keep forgetting if she even has had one.
Besides the one at WrestleMania.
Besides that one, right. And it's just like...
The triple threat match. That's it.
Like...
That's it.
That's it. That was all... We're already 2 months away from WrestleMania.
I think she did have another one versus Rhea, right? Like a rematch.
I guess you're right.
Rhea.
I guess you're right. And then Rhea
but it got
win
interrupted with Bianca, and then it turned into the triple threat. So they technically had that. But Io's done nothing else with it.
No.
Like, Io won
since they moved away,
and...
right. Since they moved away from the Rhea stuff, Bianca and all that, and then those two kind of went their respective ways, they have had nothing for Io. Nothing.
To be fair, though, Rhea did the same thing.
That's true. That's true.
Rhea did the exact same thing.
Well, the difference, I guess the problem is the difference is when Rhea, most of the time Rhea was champ, she was in the Judgment Day and doing a lot of Judgment Day stuff. And that was kind of the way that they made sense of it. Io doesn't. There is no more damage control. They only just brought Asuka and Kairi back, who are only kind of shown with Io, but not really. So there's just nothing going on. Like, I would at least give them the leeway that it really did feel like what they were building to is that there would be some type of singles match between her and Liv. And now that's obviously not happening.
Sure.
So I feel bad in that sense, but this is why you don't take this long. Because now what are you going to do? Like, I guess just throw... maybe they change, No, dude, I don't know. Like, I actually don't know.
I mean,
I actually don't know.
I guarantee whoever wins the Queen of the Ring is going after Io Sky. That's
you think so? Oh, that makes total sense. No, you're absolutely right. I'm dumb. That makes total sense.
So whoever's going to do that's going to go after Io Sky. So
okay, that's fun. That's fun.
But it's like the WWE has relied so hard, and you can see it. They have relied so hard on Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Because when he was champion, he was
absolutely.
He was doing it every night. He was promos every night, maybe even some matches every night. He had multiple feuds, and my thinking is they wanted to do, obviously since Cody took a hiatus, they wanted Jey to do that. And they kind of showed it because Jey was on every show. Jey was wrestling every night. Jey was doing this, but his promo sucked.
And his wrestling's not the best, so
when you're not having when you're not having a match and you're showing up, you have to do a promo. And if your promos aren't hitting hard, then that's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Cody's promos hit really hard every single time, I think. I don't think Cody's had a bad promo. I say that.
Cody does just about everything right.
That's what I'm saying.
You have to find a way to hate on him. Really, you seriously.
I'm positive they wanted Jey to do that same thing, and rely on Jey to be able to carry the company forward, but they couldn't do it. And now they're in this hole where they don't have John Cena every night. And actually, that's another thing too. John Cena's come back every single week more recently too. If you've noticed it, because
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And now they have him feuding with Punk. That's the thing we've always wanted. So now it's oh, really? You're absolutely right.
I'm not really taking this away from. I don't want to take away from the Io segment, but it's or the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. But it just shows that they rely so much on other stuff. That's why these other belts can take a back seat and no one really thinks about it until the end. Like Rhea. Everybody just loves Rhea. So whenever they get to see her, even Rhea cuts good promos though too. So when Rhea comes out and she cuts a promo on somebody, it's a little bit different. It feels
like she's present and she's there. Yeah, absolutely.
Io, I love Io to death. She can't cut a promo.
She's not a native English speaker. She does her best, but no, you're right. It's
not
very
her fault.
baseline. It's
not her fault at all. But when you can't cut a promo, you need matches. And you haven't had matches. The one match that you've had so far in the past weeks was the one with Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. That's the last thing that you had. But again, they've always done this with the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Going back to Rhea, like Rhea literally getting it from Charlotte Flair when they made it into the World Heavyweight Championship, Rhea had no feuds. Rhea had 0 feuds.
She was just, mommy's always on top. That was it.
Exactly. She had 0 feuds. Then she loses it to Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan had 0 feuds. Then Liv Morgan loses it to Rhea again. Rhea then had no feuds again. She had, well, I guess maybe not. She had like the
They
Io Sky.
feuded with each other, like the big Liv Rhea thing, but that was it. Like that was the whole
it. That was the last thing.
draw. That was it.
That was it. And then Io wins it, and now Io has no feuds. So it's just a common theme with the Women's World Heavyweight Championship.
It would be nice if they add some pizzazz to this belt. I absolutely agree with you, and I think I'll go as far as to say this: it's almost like this double whammy because we just said it. The Raw main men's belt is kind of the lesser belt. They have actively done everything in their power to make the women's belt feel the same way. So now you have a whole show where neither of those belts feels like the big important belt. I would genuinely say SmackDown feels like it has both of the important main belts, and that's kind of crazy. Like that's kind of crazy. But yeah,
I agree with you. When Rhea has the title, unfortunately, yes, it makes her like that World Heavyweight Championship.
It becomes bigger, sure, but it's been a while. You know what I mean? It's been a while since Rhea had it, so it's kind of like
also treated Io as like this #1 underdog, and they've done it the entire time. They did it in the WrestleMania match. They did
That's so true.
Even though she won.
That is the angle they ran.
She still doesn't feel like the big bad or the title that you want to go after. Now that feels like Tiffany because Tiffany beat Charlotte Flair. I don't know. It's just that's just kind of how I've
Tiffany's
been seeing
one
it.
of the best right now. So yeah.
So but yeah, that's kind of my opinions on the World Heavyweight Championship. Unless you have anything else.
No, I think we go right into the next belt. Not dwell too much on that one just because it is so boring at the end of the day. That is the problem. Yeah. Unfortunately, we're kind of diving into another boring one, I'd say. Next on the list, we got, Jesus Christ, the Raw belt picture is actually really bad right now. The Intercontinental belt.
Do you want me to say what I was going to say? Because remember the past like 6 weeks that I've been talking, and that Raw is the same damn thing.
You did. You have been saying that. Yes. And now all of a sudden we're like, wait a second.
It is because you are not implementing the titles. You're not doing anything with your titles. You had the one thing that you had with it was Jey Uso. That was it. You had Jey Uso. And again, that goes back to my point. They were trying to put Jey Uso and make him the face of the company. They were
like the new Cody Rhodes. You're right.
It didn't work. So hopefully the latter half of 2025 is going to be a mix of everything. Because it seems like after WrestleMania, WWE had no freaking clue what they were going to do with their title picture at all.
Especially not on Raw. At the very least, not on Raw. Like Raw has been a real shit show. Because I'm going to be so serious. I actually like. We'll get to it here in a couple of minutes, but like I like SmackDown's belt picture. I don't like. I mean, we'll just say it. The one we're getting right here to talk about.
They're doing things with it. They're doing things with the tag team. They're doing things with the
U.S. belt.
For the women's U.S. belt. But they're doing things with the men's U.S. belt.
It's like swapped, I'd almost say.
Exactly. I don't know, man. You're right. Keep going. I don't mean to interrupt.
No. You're this is the point of this segment is to get it all out. So the belt that we're getting ready to touch on here, like I said, not the best belt picture in the world. The guy is fine, but the men's Intercontinental Champion Dominic Mysterio, it almost is the same idea. He himself doesn't have any rivalries with anyone. He's just Dirty Dom. He's just being his character. I guess at this very moment, it seems like they have been sort of giving us the trail of AJ Styles does not mess with the Judgment Day. He has always kind of been a weird thorn in their side, and for like months now, if anybody kind of thinks back. And now it is finally culminating in AJ getting that shot against Dom. And I'm not necessarily predicting this right now. I don't even remember when they're having it, but like I could definitely see AJ taking that belt off of Dom. Absolutely, I could see that. Just because not that Dom isn't someone that shouldn't have a belt. That's not really what I'm saying. They just have really fumbled.
I can see it because Liv's not there.
Because Liv's not. Ooh, that'd be fun. They're like, the shine isn't really there anymore. Like it's not quite
Liv's
the same.
Liv's not here to help you out.
Yeah.
Or, you need Liv, but Roxanne's gonna be like, or it's gonna be the complete opposite, and Roxanne helps, and is like, okay.
That's exciting. That's exciting.
It is exciting.
Guess what happens when you actually give these guys thoughtful matches that are established and not just spur of the moment? Like, now we have a thing to think about. We have something to ponder on. And it's like this. That has not been the case with Dom at all. At all since becoming champion. He won it at WrestleMania. It was cool. It was fun. We both predicted that. Since then, it's like, what the fuck do we need the belt to be on Dirty Dom for? His character hasn't changed at all. Like, he's still the same exact character.
The WWE needs to get back to, and I was going to say this with Io's belt as well. Do you know what cures having no rivalry or no opponents for your title? Do you know what cures that? Having a tournament.
Yeah.
Have a tournament
For the belt.
Or just have a random fatal 4-way or a random 6-man elimination.
Something bigger. I get what you're
thing.
saying. Like something bigger.
Like just do that.
Yeah.
Do that. And then guess what? Oh, now we have to deal with let's just say Chad Gable versus Dominic Mysterio for the title. Oh, okay, Chad Gable won. Awesome. So now that just can bleed into a feud. That can bleed into a 3-match feud, like a best out of 3 type of thing. Dom wins twice, Chad Gable wins, whatever it might be, right? Tournaments and matches like that to just implement somebody into a feud immediately, in my opinion, always work. Always work.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as the Royal Rumble. It's the same thing. And guess what you can do Monday Night Raw? Be like, okay, Dominic hasn't had. Okay, and tonight we have our main event. It's a number 1 contenders match for the Intercontinental Championship, and it is a 10-man battle royal, and whoever wins gets to then now go and face Dominic Mysterio. That works every time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Or Io Sky, or whoever it is.
Yeah.
And now you have your feud for the year.
No, I think that'd be a great idea, especially just given that they've done not much at all. I think it'd be great. So, yeah, I think with that being said, I'll roll into the next one, which is one that is good, and they have had a feud, and I would say this is the belt that's been the best, like most improved, most gone from one point to a much higher point of respectfulness for this belt is the Women's Intercontinental Championship belt.
What is it? Most improved. What's the NFL
like a most
word
improved?
Yeah, just the most improved.
What is it? Is that the Walter Payton? Or that's Man of the Year?
No, I don't know what it is. Anyway,
I'm so stupid. But anyways, yeah.
It's the most improved one.
Currently held by Becky Lynch. She just took it off Lyra. Obviously, like we just said earlier, at Money in the Bank. But won't touch too much on it. Just like they've done so much with it. The feud between Lyra and Becky, like I said earlier, is probably one of the best of the entire year so far. I'll definitely go ahead and say that. It's
sure.
just
I agree
this is what you get, a belt that people put it this way, like obviously right now people would much rather have that Intercontinental belt than that damn Women's US belt. The US belt feels like a joke for mid-carders. The Intercontinental belt feels like this is where all the stars who don't get to have the main belt right now are competing. That's a big difference. Okay, there's a big difference between Bayley, Lyra, and Becky, and Zelina, Michin, and Chelsea. Okay, that's a huge difference, y'all. Like that's
so
right.
Like
that's
so
huge.
Right.
That's really like I don't have much else to even say on that. I just think I really like this belt. I really like where they go with it. Yeah. Cool. Then we can move on to the absolute, just not even a question. I think you would agree with me. The lesser of the 2 men's tag belts, the World Tag Team Champion Raw belts.
These belts right here are the worst belts.
The worst in the WWE. I feel bad for the New Day because they do give it. They're kind of like Cody in the sense that they give it their all in their promos. I love their promos every single time they come out. They're a fun little whatever as a part of whatever show they end up being on. But the matches and the feuds and the blah, 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 the Raw tag team division in general is shit. The SmackDown tag team division.
Titles either next week or whatever.
Yeah, but it's like, even when you're like, well, who against? Who cares? You know what I mean? Like, that's literally how bad it is. That's how bad it is. The tag team division is complete garbage on that brand. The War Raiders have been a complete no, literally the War Raiders have been a complete dud. The A-Town Down Under are obviously splitting up soon. You have the Creed brothers, who I like, but it's obvious they don't feel like giving the belts to them right now. So I don't know what else. Wait, I have nothing like. Yeah, like it's bad. It's really bad. I think we've already kind of like given ideas of what we think could help it, but like they got to find something. It really might just be taking it off the New Day and giving it to fresh faces. I would also say Raw is in desperate need of a tag team that is made of two people that we genuinely love. It might even just be as simple as making it.
Judgment Day.
Okay, that I was about to say a similar idea. It might be as simple as giving it to.
Will help or something.
Well, I was gonna say like it might be as simple as like very soon we get Bronson and Braun as a tag team taking those belts.
Oh.
Yes, I knew you'd like that. I knew you'd like that. Exactly. So I'm waiting for that as opposed to these little gremlin tag teams all running around trying to make a name for themselves. Like, no, I want the names that are already made to hold the belts and give them respectfulness. Stop trying to make other people respected with the belts and give the belt to someone that is respected. Talk my shit. That's what I got to say about that. Do you have anything else to add on that, or are we good to move on?
No, that was good. Keep going.
We got the women's belt. So this one is
women's tag belt.
The women's tag belt on Raw.
I think I'm gonna retract my statement from the last one.
This one's the worst. That's what we literally. It was so bad that we literally forgot about it. Well, I would just say in general, from beginning of the year to now, they've done very little with this. I like Liv and Raquel as the champs. It's just obvious that WWE doesn't really care about the belts themselves. It was way more obvious that what they cared was to have those belts on Liv and on Raquel, so as they go through these stories and these, obviously Liv is hurt now, but the idea was that
to give Liv, it's like,
gave Liv respectfulness.
I'm a 4-time
Absolutely.
women's tag team champion.
That was it.
World champion. Like, I'm the best in the locker room. Yeah,
that was it.
And that's all it was to give her accolades.
Yeah. So there's so much. It's so bad that they can literally go any direction, and it'll probably be better than what we have right now. Literally give it to anyone. Start making more tag teams. Start bringing these girls up from NXT.
Put it down in NXT. Just take the belt.
That's what I was about to say. Well, I guess I was thinking of the opposite. Start bringing up some people from NXT to get their feet wet and only have them compete as tag teams for this belt or something like that.
That would be a very cool angle, by the way. Having Raquel and Liv, just like, okay, we're gonna do, instead of like, you know how Chad's doing like or he did his luchador expedition, so I'm gonna fight every luchador. Liv and Raquel, we want to see who has it, who's the best.
That would be cool.
And any two NXT women want to come up and fight us or whatever, come do it. And then they sit out there.
NXT
in the promo,
has
blah, 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 and then someone's
They have no shortage of factions and tag teams in that women's division. Is fucking
just
insane.
To get the women on the roster.
Right? Yeah,
exactly.
In front
of it'd be sweet. It'd be cool. I'd like that idea.
Anything
awesome.
And everything. Literally, they could throw. They can throw spaghetti at the wall. Anything that sticks would be better than this right now. Like, seriously.
Well, they have nobody else. Literally no other.
That's what we're saying. They don't have anybody.
It would be like Michin and B-Fab, I guess.
But they're on SmackDown. So it's
then it would be. Natalya and Maxine Dupri.
Natalya and Maxine might literally be the only new tag team of this entire year, dude. Like, what the fuck? I guess, you know what? I guess Kyrie and Asuka are back. That could be something.
I think they're doing separate things, though.
Yeah, Jesus.
Because they don't say part of Damage Control anymore. They don't say anything about Damage
You're so right, and they got rid of what's her name. So, whatever, dude. We can go on to the next belt. A belt with actual prestige, a belt with actual interest. All the SmackDown belts. So we will start with the men's main one. Your WWE United States Champion, John Cena. This would be, of course, the one that Cody lost. So we've had two champs this year, Cody and John. What can be said? This is the main belt. This is the one everyone wants. This is the one that the main story always revolves around. I don't really have many complaints. I actually really love what they've been doing. I know, obviously, we all know it could be a lot better if The Rock stuck to whatever plan they had and he was actually involved in all this.
That would be plan. Travis Scott wasn't
way
involved,
better.
All that type
just everything, right? Everything around that. What made it maybe more of like an 8 out of 10 instead of a 10 out of 10 for me. But otherwise, Cody and John are amazing stewards of the belt. Assuming CM Punk or Cody is just again, but assuming it's like CM Punk is the next one that's new this year, I won't be mad about that. He obviously deserves to have a belt before he kind of actually leaves WWE, whatever. Yeah, even having now Ron Killings as a part of this whole thing, I like that. Like, I just think it's really fun. It's obviously a lot easier for them to book this belt than maybe some of these other ones. Yep. I don't have a lot really else to add just because of how good it is, as opposite to what the last few we just talked about. So what do you think about this one?
I think it's good because of what Cody has done. in
Fair
2025
enough.
with it.
Fair enough.
Or at least just leading up to 2025 with it. I am one that's been on record saying like I'm not the biggest fan of what John Cena has been doing with the title. I know you can't really do much with it. Like this is what you want with John Cena. I don't know. It's just been, and this is the point, right? This is John Cena's point. He wants to ruin wrestling. He wants you to not like what he's doing. And I get it. It's cool. I understand it. So if that's the case, then I guess he's doing a fantastic job. And, it's great. So I don't have any complaints with it at that point. But no, it's just a little lackluster in my opinion. But
I think that's fair.
It can get better. We have CM Punk now. So hopefully that elevates it a little bit. We are going to get true. Hopefully we're going to get true promo. Like that's what makes it for me. And I've talked about it before. Promos are my favorite thing about wrestling. I like the wrestling, whatever, cool. But promos, when they just talk back and forth and they're like going at each other's necks and they make it serious and all that type of stuff. Like, in my opinion, promos are what you remember. Matches are you just remember the result.
Well, it's like this is literally it's like we're talking about the different ingredients. This is what the stew is. The unification of these two things, the match and then the shit talking that builds it. That's what makes a good feud, a good whatever, versus like a lackluster, who cares kind of thing, right? Like It all comes together, and that's why this stuff matters so much. And like you said, like CM Punk and John Cena should be able to absolutely kill that for these next few months. Like it should be really fun with Cody probably involved a little bit. Maybe Seth is involved a little. Like you can have this big Avengers thing happen if you want. Like you can go crazy with this. You know what I mean? Like yeah. But yeah, I like it a lot more than these other belts we've already talked about. So I don't have like a ton to be negative on. Just what we said. There's a lot of things that could be done a little better, but it is what it is. But
yeah,
cool.
We can move on to the next one.
Yeah. All right. So next, we got the Women's Championship, WWE Women's Championship on the SmackDown side, which is still held by Tiffany Stratton. She's basically been the champ for this entire year so far, this first half of 2025. I have no complaints at all. It is Tiffy time. She might be. You know what? Out of all these belts, given that Gunther has had a back and forth and Jey took it for most of this year, I would say that the best out of all these belts we're talking about right now is Tiffany's belt. I think she has been the best steward. She has made it her own in such a way and has made like herself a household name officially with this belt. And there's a reason they've taken so long to even consider taking it off of her. The matches have all been solid. She's had a couple, like we've been saying this. You have these one-off rivalries, or they don't seem to know what to do with it. Tiffany, it feels like every woman on SmackDown has come at her in one way or another, and she's there for it. I love that. Why is that not happening with the other women's belt? Why is that not happening with, at the very least, the World Heavyweight belt? Like, this is, for whatever reason, this is the only belt that's a main belt in WWE where it literally feels like anyone and everybody is trying to get it, and they show that on the screen.
Exactly. You're so right.
I love it.
What we were just talking about.
So give it. I'm assuming Naomi does take this, and then that we've already predicted this a million times, but that leads into a Jade and Naomi feud. That would only honestly further my feelings on it. So look, whoever, if it really is, and I've actually never known how it works. I don't know if Nick Aldis and what's his fuck name actually have input, Adam Pearce, on like ways that
I've never known how it works either.
I don't really know. If they do, Nick Aldis, you are good at this, okay? You are much better.
Of the year, brother.
Yes, you are much better than Adam Pearce. I'm going to be honest, Adam, I don't not like you, but there's a clear and obvious difference between the shows as of late.
Yes.
So yeah, what do you think about Tiffany? Any notes?
No, I love Tiffany. She's obviously my top female wrestlers in the whole WWE, and I've loved everything that's happened so far in 2025 with her, and hopefully, she can go after some other gold in the future once she eventually has this run come to an end and stay in the main event.
Yeah, cool.
So, go on to the next one.
Yeah, so let's touch on the Men's United States Championship belt. That would be Jacob Fatu has that belt. He has been holding it for some time. He took that thing off. It was LA Knight, right? And LA Knight had it for most of the year. So, I've actually enjoyed this quite a bit. This is definitely.
Well, actually, LA Knight won it off of Shinsuke, and then Shinsuke.
And then, oh, that's right.
Or then LA Knight, yeah.
Ooh, okay. I was about to go crazy and say how much.
But...
Yeah, we do like you, Shinsuke. It's just more that the WWE doesn't seem to like you anymore. So it's like. Yeah, the Shinsuke part of this belt this year was actually pretty bad. That is actually going to take my opinion down a little bit.
Very bad. Very, very bad.
But the LA Knight and Jacob parts of it, and the LA Knight, and I believe that the beginning of the year had the LA Knight Logan Paul bleed into it, didn't it? Maybe I'm misremembering, but if it did, I like that. So
No, not the beginning of 2025.
not the beginning. Okay, never mind. Well, the LA Knight Jacob Fatu part of all this has been really good. Hope Jacob continues to hold on to it for at least a little longer, maybe through the end of the year. Just really establish him as this menace of a character. You know, there's probably more that can be done. Again, having it on Shinsuke, it's all in the past now, but that did feel like a waste of time. My cat's going crazy. Jesus Christ. Yeah, the Shinsuke stuff felt like a little bit of a waste of time, but what can you do? You know what I mean? Do you have anything other than that, or?
No, I like Jacob. It's kind of the same picture that we were talking about with the women's Intercontinental, like these big names going after this title.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. And then going into the women's United States Championship, it is the complete opposite. Unfortunately, I love Zelina Vega, I love Chelsea Green, but for whatever reason, these feuds have just been god awful lackluster. They're just not anything like, no substance behind them. You know, Chelsea Green, I love her, but she just didn't make any. She didn't do any promos with anybody like out in the ring, like.
The Secret Harvest and all that was awesome, but you're right. Like it didn't.
I like that. Don't get me wrong.
It didn't extend into anything more outside of their group. So they established a group, which was fun, but that's kind of it. And it's cool for her now, but it almost like, how long will this really make sense until everyone's like, wait, Chelsea does not have the U.S. belt anymore? You know what I mean? Like this is just, why would she be, President Chelsea Green if she doesn't have the United, whatever. But no, I agree with you. This belt needs something, and when I say something, it needs someone that is like a real superstar, and I think that superstar's name is Julia. Let's be real. I think Julia's about to take this.
Yeah, and it's gonna look on the upward trajectory.
I agree with you. This belt has a lot more going for it as far as like what's coming up than maybe some of the other shitty ones we said, but this might be the shittiest singles belt out of all of them. Let's be real. Like this one. Yeah. It's been rough, ladies, but
unfortunate for now.
You guys have tried your best. It's not, it is what it is. But yeah, not a lot really to add in on that other than that. We'll go on now to the last belt situation in WWE. That would be the WWE Tag Team Championship on SmackDown.
I love
the Street Profits. So they won it back in March. They've had it for a couple months now. It's felt good. Who did they take it off of? Was that DIY, I believe, right?
Yes.
When DIY had it, it did feel a little bit like, okay, who's going to come take it off these guys now? Like, this is feeling a little... That's how I felt, at least.
DIY had already won it, like, twice before that, too.
That's
so it's
right.
Like, they just had... DIY would lose it, then win it. Then lose it, then win it. And then they lost it, obviously, again. But no, these are some of the most fun...
these matches are usually
titles.
Sick.
Just the randomness of who's going to get it, who's going to take it next. It literally reminds me of like...
back in the day.
Days.
Yeah.
Like when it's just like, oh, any given Friday, any given Monday, like these things can just go, right? So, no, it's awesome. And they obviously have a huge storyline now with the Wyatt Six in there. So, yeah, these tag teams are top tier. Best tag division in the WWE.
And before even the Wyatt Six came back, it was already far and above the better tag division.
It was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and that's before they even maybe consider doing like Penta and Rey together again. You know what I mean? Like there's so many tag teams they still could make, and it's like Jesus, like so much going on SmackDown. Like, look, let's be real. Like I'm gonna be real with you. I think SmackDown is the better show right now. The only reason Raw even gets by is because they choose to put people that are on both shows in big promos on Raw, but other than those promos, the mid card on Raw feels horrible right now. Like I think that's just
Raw gets by because of Seth Rollins.
Or Gunther or like Jey is fine, but he's not like Cody. Like you said, he's not Cody. He's just simply is not Cody. So yeah. Look, so that's our review of the belt situation. Like other than that, when it comes to WWE in 2025, I think there are a few things we would like to quickly discuss. So one of them, Tyler, I'll just let you take it away and just kind of say your thoughts on the whole.
I'll keep it quick, but
sure.
It's I hate how it has become this corporate mess. We've talked about it plenty of times. The ads on the ads, everything looks cheap. It looks very, very cheap. It looks like you're going to like a motocross event.
Yep.
And they need all these sponsorships for everything, every possible thing, just to be able to get by and pay your motocrossers or whatever it is, X
Yep.
Games type of thing. No offense to those, whatever.
Right, different
obviously don't bring
businesses,
in
you know what I
money,
mean? But WWE's
but,
just acting like, oh, we can do it too. It's like, there's a reason
You're
y'all
already
never
charging-
did.
You're already charging $1 million for tickets, dude. You're making that much money. You don't
All
need
the merch
extra
sales,
money. You're already
all
getting
the
all this
merch.
money from Saudi Arabia. Like,
Yeah.
you have all the money in the world. I wouldn't be surprised if they have more money than the NHL.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Like, NHL is one of the big four sports. but
I
they're
would
not
even
that
go as
big.
far to say, do you not think they probably get a decent payout every year from YouTube, being one of the highest subscribed YouTube channels in the
Dude,
world?
they have-
I actually
yeah,
think they
for
probably
sure.
bring in a
They
couple
make money in
mil.
so many different
I would
avenues.
bet
Their
that they bring in a
marketing
couple
is
mil.
ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's like, y'all really got to make a Slim Jim table, a fireball ladder. Oh, Cash App is on the money in the bank.
A 7-Eleven,
Oh
a 7-Eleven
my
turnbuckle,
God.
a 7-Eleven
7-Eleven
turnbuckle,
turnbuckle. It's so
a
fucking
Fortnite
dumb.
ring. Like, the ring is okay, whatever, cool. I
Vince
understand.
McMahon, his
But giving
creep ass,
everything else.
puts on wrestling every week, and he probably laughs. He just sits there and laughs, like, "Hey, I knew they'd fuck
It
this
just
shit
looks
up." And it's
cheap.
like,
It
God
looks
damn!
so cheap. It looks
Don't
so
prove
cheap.
Vince right. Yeah,
It
it's
takes
bad.
away from the
Authenticity.
Authenticity. That's what I'm looking for.
It is a weird word,
but
trust me.
yeah. So, but yeah, it just takes away from it, man. And that's just my sole opinion. You've talked about it with the ticket prices and everything, and I know you got to get going, so I'm not going to do much more. But
No, you're good. I'll just kind of add on the back of this. The other big thing that we've been pretty, I would say, at least me, they do a ton of pay-per-views, but every single one is limited to a 5-match card.
that
And
too.
it just
That-
feels
that's
so,
another
like-
point. That's another point.
It's like, what, y'all got a fucking bedtime? Like, what are we doing here?
It's because the pay-per-views are so freaking filled with ads and
ads
and
ads all over the place. Constant ad
Just
reads
take
from
the
the
Saturday
commentators.
Night's Main Event, for example, man. It was
We talked about this on a not so long ago episode. They don't even do promos on the pay-per-views at all anymore. They used to do. I don't know, for all of y'all that are watching, how old people would be watching this. They used to do
2
big
years ago- 2
promos
years
during
ago,
the pay-per-views.
John Cena came out in Money in the Bank and announced
Yeah!
that he was coming, like,
That
doing
was
his
a
thing, right?
That was one segment,
man.
and if I remember correctly, there was like 7 matches on that card. You know what I mean? And that was a segment
Yeah.
put in the middle of that. Then I'm pretty sure TKO came in and was like, no way are we giving these people more than 5 matches. And it's like, stop. Look, this is, I guess, how we can end this. People on management side of WWE side of the TKO thing, please stop listening to the TKO people on the TKO side of things. Please stop listening to them. Do not listen to Dana White. Do not take advice from MMA motherfuckers. Do not take advice from the Saudi motherfuckers. They are
That's where
ruining.
these ads are coming from.
Oh,
is
absolutely.
MMA is the.
Do not
oh
listen to these
my
motherfuckers.
God, I
They
didn't
are
think
ruining
about
your
that.
brand. This is not professional fighting. This is not real. And these people who think that they're the smartest people in the world because they obtained their billions whatever way they did, they don't understand this business, okay? They like it, but they don't understand it. Do not listen to them. Stop. Triple H was doing just fine when it was all him. You can literally see the differences year to year when it was just Triple H making these big calls, and now he has these people in behind him telling him, no, do this, no, do this. No. It's very obvious if you're like not an idiot or not a child. And that's where we'll kind of end this episode on that. Like, WWE is not in a bad place, but it really does feel like we're at a pivotal moment of like, you could really mess this up, or you
Yes.
could really take wrestling by
You
storm.
can go back to
by storm.
2010 to 2019 wrestling. Like, you could really go back to
It's
that.
not hard to fall right back into that hellhole. And we, just as we did back then, I could see myself not watching if it gets that bad. You know what I mean?
WWE is like the stock market. It could crash at any point. It really could.
That's a great analogy, actually. Yeah. So, yeah, look, y'all, this was episode 13. We are so happy to be back. We were so happy to do this episode. Please leave a like and a comment and subscribe, of course, if you are not already subscribed, and hit that little notification bell if you got a chance to do so. Let us know what you think, and more importantly, hey, let us know what you think about 2025 WWE so far. You know, do you like this more or less than AEW even? Like, we don't get a ton of AEW time to watch that, so if you're a big AEW person, you know, let us know the differences, that kind of thing. Like, we'd love to hear from y'all. And yeah, other than that, This was another successful episode of the DNT Wrestling Show. Y'all take it easy. Peace!